What's happening, guys? All right, I'm Paul Sharp, and I help people transform themselves in 90 days or less. We get after it, we get to work, and we change your life. Just like I've changed my life and hundreds of other people. I get messages every day from people who are like, man, I've been doing this thing and it's changed my life. Thank you. That, my friends, is what it's all about. It is a mission. I am serving a purpose, which is to help other people to discover who they really are and start living that life. That's a gift from God. You got to take it. You got to run with it. All right, listen. One of the things that comes up all the time with folks is, why no drinking? Why no drugs? Why dropping all the vices? Why all of this stuff? Because you are masking what's really going on with the drink, with the drugs, with the gambling, with the porn, with whatever it is. It could be shopping. It could be, I had a person I was working with a few years ago who spent $3,500 in less than 30 minutes on a shopping binge because they had a bad moment with someone and they lost their shit and they just went nuts shopping online and spent $3,500. That's self-destructive. $3,500 might not be a lot of money to some folks, but it's still self-destructive. It's damaging. And so those are the things. You look at, well, why did that happen? They were masking pain. They had an event where things got heated and everybody was up in the air and flying around and things were swirling. And so they decided to seize control and take their mind away from what was happening and dive into this habit that would that would numb this other thing and shut that off. And so they couldn't hear it because they're into this world. Listen, whatever it is, if it's controlling you, if you're using it to numb something, you have to stop it. I always ask people, if you did more of this, would it help? Typically, no. If you drank more, would it help? No. If you did more drugs, would it help? No. If you watched more porn, if you gambled more, if you shopped more, whatever it is, if you did more of it, would it help? If the answer is no, then why do any of it? Why indulge in the least? When I tell people that they need to stop this stuff, it's mostly about that. It's about, look, man, we want to just be raw. I've been straight edge for my whole life, for the most part. There's a couple years where I got off track, got hung up on some stuff, but quickly fixed myself and got back on track. And I like to go through life just feeling it, man. Whatever it is, whatever the pain is, if it's memories, if it's childhood things that happen, whatever. I want to feel it. I want to experience it. I don't want to numb it, because how are you supposed to fix it? How are you supposed to deal with it if you don't even know what it is? Because you're so numb and tuned out. You don't even know what reality is any longer. People who have the effects of the drug flowing through their blood, their system still, their brain is still pickled in alcohol and THC or whatever it is. How are you thinking clearly? How are you having conversations that are difficult? Necessary but difficult conversations with people if you can't think clearly, if you're not clean and clear. That's so important. When we talk about that kind of stuff, that's why it's important that I want people to drop all those things, so that when I'm interacting with them and they're interacting with their world, they are raw, man. They are real. There is no filter. There is no screen. There is no numbing agent. It's all what's really happening. It's also why I tell people that you need to be reading something every day that lifts you up, that edifies you, reading something from the people who are plugged in, reading something that makes you want to be better, that causes you to aspire to a higher level. And then while you're reading that, I want you to reflect, I want you to contemplate, really ruminate, really meditate on the words that you're reading, and then I want you to write. And I want you to write what your thoughts are, what your feelings are. Just write. Don't try to edit. Just write it. And the reason that's important is because how else will you track the evolution of your thoughts? How else will you track your growth mentally if you don't have a record? When you have a written record, you can go back. I've kept a journal for over 40 years. I can go back, I can find a journal from this day, a journal entry from this day in 2017, and compare my thoughts today to my thoughts then and say, oh wow, that's interesting. I wonder what I was going through at that time. Why was I writing about that? What was happening? Oh, here it is in the journal. I'm writing about what's going on that day. That is a valuable resource. That's data that you're just not going to get anywhere else. You can look back 10, 20, 30, for me, 40 years and see my thoughts and see how I've grown and evolved and how I've changed. You have to drop all the vices so we can get real. You really are feeling everything. Physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, everything. You're feeling it for once. You're not numbing it. And then you have to be reading and writing and reflecting every single day so that now we also have this record moving forward that we can look back on a year from now, 2 years, 3 years from now. And also this helps with recording your wins because you're going to grow as we work together. You're going to grow and you're going to evolve. And a year from now, you're going to be a different creature. 3 years from now, you'll be different again. 5 years from now, you'll be even more different. You'll have changed even more greatly than what you are right now. And so writing and recording and all those things, it's so important. And that's why the journaling aspect is also important. It is a non-negotiable. When people ask about those kind of things, that's why I need you to get real. I need you to start reading and reflecting and writing every day so that we can start to see who you really are, who you were meant to be, and we can make it happen. All right, guys, you have a good one.